Hey guys, Winters here, bringing you another Destiny 2 video. Today's video is going to be about the top 10 weapons to grind for in Season of Defiance. These are all the weapons that are definitely worth your time and attention. We have all the weapons available in the loot pool this season, as well as any reissues that have brand new perk pools. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Starting off the list at number 10, we have the Regnant Heavy GL. This is not only the best Heavy GL currently in Destiny 2, but it is quite versatile too, with combinations like auto-loading or Envious Assassin Explosive Light, meaning that this thing can dish out good sustain or burst DPS. We're waiting on one more GL buff or rocket nerf, and this is going to be a top DPS option and definitely worth adding to your collections. At number 9, we have the Vexcalibur Exotic Special Glaive. This is easily one of the best glaives currently in the game. As with all glaives, you're going to be going for a more aggressive playstyle, and this one gives you the tools to do just that. With the refreshable Void Overshield to keep you alive no matter how deep you go. Also with many Void 3.0 synergies, able to get volatile rounds through instability, able to proc Offensive Bulwark on Titan to refresh your grenades, and able to synergize with Devour to give you unparalleled survivability. This gun also features a really cool rotation aspect where you're constantly blocking, shooting, getting the overshield, buffing your melee damage, going right back in. Your ability to juggle all these different aspects is going to determine how good you are with this glaive. Definitely a fun weapon, worth going to do the Avalon mission just to go get it. At number 8, we're bringing you the Phylotactic Spiral. Now, I'm not going to lie, at the beginning of this season, I actually thought this gun was mediocre at best, but I finally crafted it and leveled it exclusively in PvP. And I gotta say, it was rough at the beginning. Before you get the good actual PvP perks on it, this gun is mid at best. But once you get the enhanced Keep Away and enhanced Headseeker, you will actually be able to make this thing a menace in the Crucible. It's capable of really good 2 bursting capabilities that can put down people with 0 difficulty whatsoever. You really want to crutch Keep Away, as well as the intrinsic trait that all 340s have of standing still to gain more accuracy. This gun also has some PvE utility. It's the only pulse currently in the game with Volt Shot, but it is competing with Insidious and the GN7 for the top spot of Arc Pulse. However, if you don't have any other Arc Pulses to your name, this can definitely be an option there as well, but I think it truly shines within the Crucible. So it's definitely worth the pickup, level, and craft. At number 7, we have the newly reissued Hung Jury. Man, this gun has been on a journey. Back in D1, this was the best legendary PvE primary weapon for 2 years, undisputed. And when it came back in D2, it didn't have that same fire, but guess what? Now it does. On the PvE side, we have combos like Shoot to Loot plus Kinetic Tremors, both excellently synergizing perks that allow you to pick up ammo from across the map through the explosions of Kinetic Tremors, which already add a ton of damage, both single target and AoE, to whatever you're shooting at. This gun excels in GM content where the enemies are bulkier, because it takes 6 shots to trigger Kinetic Tremors, but on any enemy that has enough health for you to actually trigger it, it is a massive DPS increase, which will let you put down enemies from a safe distance very consistently. On the PvP side, we have Surplus or Rapid Hit Box Breathing, take your pick, which allows for consistent cross-map 3-taps, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a monstrous TTK that a lot of people will not be ready for or expecting. Truly, this gun is you pick a lane and anything the Almalan reticle touches is your kingdom. You own that lane now, you're going to push everyone out of it, and I don't care if anyone is going to say, oh, you're a bitch for standing in the back of the map with a scout rifle. You're using Immortal and Laymanark and you know it, so shut up. This is the best Nightfall weapon of the season, and it's definitely worth your time to go grind some GMs to get it the next time it is in the rotation for the Nightfall rewards. At number 6, we have the Winter's Bite Exotic Heavy Glaive. Now, this is kind of a weird one to place because if we count the bug damage that it does that can absolutely delete a boss, this is number 1 on the list. However, if they nerf the shatter damage to where it is not insane, it's not even number 10. So we're going to split the difference and put it at number 6. This is the first true exotic stasis weapon, so it fits right into some stasis builds to give them a little bit more kick. And also it is part of very consistent boss DPS strategies currently. So it is definitely worth you going and grind out the exotic quest, grabbing this and adding it to your arsenal. At number 5, we have the Royal Executioner Solar Fusion Rifle. This gun is really good just because of how versatile it is. There are plenty of different god rolls to go for, depending on what you're looking for. So at first we have the Envious Assassin Reservoir Burst roll, which of course is something you can charge up kills with another weapon, switch to this, and have multiple reservoir burst shots in the tank ready to go to do good single target or AoE damage. Option number 2, you can go lead from gold incandescent and use it as part of a double special weapon strategy. In that strategy, it will be good for AoE and it will not run out of ammo thanks to lead from gold. On the PvP side, we have offhand strike, successful warm-up, or killing wind, which means directly after a kill, you're going to have really good accuracy, charge time, and range to go into your next engagement and get that follow-up kill. It is definitely not the undisputed best solar fusion in the game right now. On the PvE side, it has competition in the Vorpal Cartesian coordinate, and on the PvP side, it has competition in the form of the Under Pressure Trinary system, or even the Zur main ingredient. With all that being said, it is still an excellently versatile weapon. You can craft it exactly how you want it, and it is definitely worth going to grab the pattern for this one and giving it a craft. At number 4, we have the Rufus's Fury Strand Auto Rifle. Now this gun also has a ton of good perks on it. To be perfectly honest, it's like a dartboard. You throw 2 darts, and wherever they land, you probably have a decent Rufus's Fury. But obviously, this is a really solid strand primary for all strand synergies, with things like Demolitionist or Pugilist and Hatchling. But also, if you just want a good damage perk, you have Frenzy or Paracausal, depending on what you want. For the PvP side, you have accuracy perks, kill chaining perks. Really, this thing can be tailored exactly how you want it, and of course in PvP, 720 autos are still pretty much the best in class among autos. They're getting pushed out a little bit with SMGs right now, but with the upcoming range changes, we will probably see a resurgence, especially in the 720s, and Rufus's Fury is going to be a good pick for that. I personally have mine crafted to be a solid strand primary, and it is definitely a contender for the best strand primary in the game currently, except of course for a option a little bit higher up on this list. Still, I think Rufus's Fury is an excellent weapon, and it is probably the best craftable weapon to come out of Root of Nightmares, and definitely worth your time to run the raid, if only for this thing. At number 3, we have the Iterative Loop Arc Rapid Fire Fusion Rifle. This is currently the best Arc PvE fusion rifle in the game, with a great combo of perks with Compulsive Reloader and Volt Shot. The main gameplay loop here is to kill a miner, reload, and then get the Volt Shot on a major target, and watch as the lightning cascades off him, not only dealing extra damage to him, more than even a Vorpal Cartesian, but also AoEing down every single miner at around that major. It is a very valuable weapon in arc-based builds, and then also it has great synergy now that kinetics in the primary slot have been buffed, so weapons like Osteostriga are even better now than they used to be, so this weapon fits right in to a playstyle where you need a strong energy special weapon. On the PvP side, with the recent buff to rapid fire frame fusions, this is easily one of the best, if not the straight up best rapid fire fusion in the game. It has Under Pressure, which is the premier fusion rifle perk, and it also has Kickstart to give you that rapid charge on a slide, and just a really aggressive playstyle, or you can use it defensively against shotgun rushers very effectively. You can craft this weapon for either PvP or PvE. It might even be worth you crafting 2 separate copies, one for each, just because it is that good in both. At number 2, we have the Conditional Finality Exotic Shotgun. This is, without question, the best raid exotic they have released since Anarchy, and probably the best designed exotic weapon since Agar Scepter. This thing is so much fun. It's just a double barrel shotgun that freezes targets and then makes them explode. What more can you possibly want? Well, actually, you're going to get more, because this thing is crazy good in both PvE and PvP. On the PvE side, obviously it has unstoppable stunning capabilities through the freeze and shatter. And then of course, because this gun is both stasis and solar, it has synergy with both types of builds if you want to build into it. The stasis side you can build in with fissures to make the shatters bigger, and then with the solar side you can build in with any fragment that makes your ignitions bigger to make those explosions bigger. This is really cool as well with some of the aspects that also synergize with this, like Ice Flare bolts, allowing the shatter to send out a cascading ice bolt to freeze the next target as well. And then on PvP, it is actually one of the best aggressive frame shotguns. Specifically, the stasis bullet triangle pellet spread is incredibly tight and consistent on getting you those one-shot kills. This gun is absolutely fantastic, and along with Rufus's Fury, this is definitely the weapon to run the Root of Nightmares raid for. You definitely want to get your hands on this thing, because it is just a blast to use, and it will continue to be so for the rest of this year. And then finally, at number 1, we have, of course, the best weapon to come out of Season Defiance, Ecliptic Distaff. Yep, that's right, the Void Ritual Glaive. I mean, come on, destabilizing rounds on a glaive, it's amazing. You know it, I know it. it's the best weapon this season of Defiance. Now, just kidding. The best weapon of Season of Defiance, of course, is the Immortal SMG. So you get this thing from Trials, obviously, and its sound alone strikes fear into the hearts of us all, because it is not uncommon to load into a Trials match and just hear 6 of these going off. This is, without question, one of the craziest weapons they've ever introduced. Whoever's idea at Bungie it was to give an SMG up to 90 base range, a origin trait in field test that can boost that range to 100 after just 1 kill, and then putting rangefinder and target lock on it. I don't know what you were smoking, but it is absolutely hilariously good. I don't often suggest people go into Trials, but for this thing alone, it is worth grinding out that mythic rank just to get yourself 9 random rolled copies and hope you get a halfway decent one. And it's not even done in just the PvP side, because in PvE, this is easily one of the best Strand primaries. 750 SMGs are among the best, if not the straight up best archetype of weapons for most PvE engagements anyway. And then, of course, with things like Threat Detector and Demo, or Threat Detector and Hatchling, you can build straight into really good Strand builds, getting your grenade back or proccing Threadlings to fuel your build even more. This gun is just super versatile, super good. It's worth all the hype that surrounds it, and it is absolutely 100% worth your time to go out and grind this weapon, whether you're a PvP player or not, because it is just that strong. Alright guys, that wraps up our top 10 video on the best weapons of Season of Defiance to go get. If you have any weapons that I left off by chance that you think should have made the list, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Or if you have any disputes about the order in which I put these guns, I'd love to hear about it in the comments down below. With that being said, this is Felwinter signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next Destiny 2 video.